So in a minute what I'm going to do is turn this lot of compost out into this bay here. Now this compost is split into two bits. You've got the fresh stuff on top, and the sort of the bottom half I'd say is about a year old. I always leave my compost for 2 years, that way it's lovely and crumbly, and I'll show you in a minute what 2-year compost does look like. But it's important to turn your compost. Now because I leave mine for 2 years, I only turn it once. The time is enough to break it down. If you want compost a little bit sooner, you're going to have to turn it a little bit more. And obviously make sure you're adding the right materials, the right amount of greens and browns, but that's for another video. What I'm going to do in a minute is take off this front panel here and see what I'm left with, and then I'll get it turned in there. Hopefully there's no nasty surprises, because people do find things like baby rats and what have you. But turning it does a few things. So it gets the air back into the heap, and that increases the temperature, which helps break everything down. That oxygen is crucial for bacteria and fungi that is living in the compost, and along with the worms. Hopefully you've got lots of worms in your compost bin. All that combined will help break it down faster. So this is compost that's 2 years old. It's been used in the beds and in the containers. See, it's lovely and crumbly. Now, not everything will break down. There's a few little bits of sticks and stuff here, and they just go back into the current heap. Right, okay, so I'm going to get this panel off now. I've got my drill. Let's see what we find. So yeah, so obviously, as I said, the top half is fresh, so this is fairly fresh. You can just see above this board here that it's just starting to turn and rot down, especially in the middle. The edges are looking a bit dry, but that's what happens every year. Once you turn it, it all becomes amalgamated into the compost into one. So this is the most exciting part, so I'm just going to get the bottom off. Right, so as you can see, you've got a big mound of compost that we could use now, basically. The sides are always a little bit like this, quite dry. But as I say, once you get it all mixed in, that compost and the bacteria and everything living in that compost and the worms and everything, we'll just mix it all together, and in another year's time all this will be composted and usable. So that's lovely. That's exactly what we want to see. There are a few ants in there. Quite a lot in fact, and that's often the sign of a dry heap, which obviously the sides are quite dry, but I'm not worried. I quite often find ants in here. If the whole thing was like the outside here, then I would be a bit worried. It would obviously be far too dry, and you'd probably have got the ratios a bit unbalanced and not enough greens. But I'm perfectly happy with this now. I'm going to transfer it all from here into there. Right, so I'm not going to lie, that is a job that I both love and hate. I love to see how much compost I got, and in this case it's probably about half this bay is full. It will drop significantly, and we'll come back in a few days or a week, 2 weeks maybe, just to see how far it's dropped. So if you look here, it's about level with that top slat there. It will drop, but I've got a load of compost. You saw us, or you might have seen us in the edit, watering bits of it because some bits were particularly dry and twiggy. I didn't think I'd put as many kind of sticks and twigs in. Chickens saying hello. Right, so the chickens are going crazy, so we'll come back in 2 weeks' time. Right, okay, so we're about 4 weeks down the line now and it's dropped considerably. As I say, I'm going to keep this in here all through the summer, and this will be used in the springtime. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, that would be great. Check out the channel as well, because I've got loads of videos, and leave a comment, say hello. Alright, thanks for watching guys, hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.